Hello everybody, I'm Ben and welcome back to Break the Game. Today we're taking a look at the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This is a reimagining of the 2013 version of this game, and the outcome of the game is all based on the decisions that we make. So it should be super fun to take a look at. Let's begin the game and take a look.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, so that's the narrator that we have, and I will include some bits of narration throughout the game. I think the narrator is actually super funny and really nice to listen to, so I hope you guys agree. So here's our office, and it seems we hate Mondays. For some reason, we leave all of our filing cabinet drawers at various levels of openness, because that's totally normal. Let's venture out of our office and see what happens. I should say this is my first time ever playing through this game, so it should be quite fun.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we've just woken up in this weird world. Doors are closing behind us, so we have to keep progressing. And this weird narrator is telling us what to do. Now, if this was me in real life, I would definitely not do whatever this voice was telling me to. So let's see what happens if we go through the door on the right.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So he wants us to go through there. You know what? I'm going to disobey everything he tells me, so we're going through this door here. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift is $1,000. A penalty for jumping off of it is $5,000. So if we get on this, does something happen? Let's jump off. Okay, narrator did not like that we jumped off, and I guess there's somewhere going to be a $5,000 fine, but we're going to continue on.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh my goodness. It's so tempting to choose the blue door now. Okay, I've thought about this for way too long, but here's what I'm thinking. The narrator knows that we keep disobeying him. So he said the red door because maybe he thinks we're going to disobey and go through the blue door, and therefore we go through the red door. Okay, it seems we have to walk into this very ominous door right here where it's just complete darkness. This isn't scary at all. Okay, this is very strange. I've gone from an office into, I don't know, space. Let's go back through this only door that's here.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
So these stairs lead to nothing other than we can jump off and I guess kill ourselves and reset. Okay, we survived the first fall, so I guess we have to do this a few times. Okay, here we are back in our office after finally killing ourselves. Okay, once again, I still feel like I want to go through the door on the right, so we're going to do that. We're still not going through there, and we're still going to get on this thing, but this time I won't jump off. Another ominous door with just absolute blackness through it. In we go.
That's
oh my god,
Stanley.
This is creepy.
You need to be the one to do this.
I think I have to pick up the phone. I'm too intrigued. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
Well, this is creepy. So each time I push a button, it seems like things are happening that are transferring this room back to my office. So I think that's what's going to happen. We're just going to be back in the office when all this is done.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay, let's see what happens if we don't push the button. So I haven't pushed this button for a couple of minutes now, and I started to notice the clock, because when I first started up the game, it asked you to put in your current time, which for me was like 11:50 something, I think. I don't remember exactly. And it seems we're about half an hour away from the game time matching with my current time. I'm just wondering whether if we were able to wait out the half an hour, would we somehow complete the game? So as always, I'm going to test things out in this game so that you don't have to, and I'm going to sit here for half an hour just listening to this. So sat here just staring at the clock and looking around this office, there really isn't a lot to do other than think, and I just had a pretty terrible thought. You see, this doesn't have AM and PM times on it, it just has the 12-hour clock. So I'm just assuming this is the same 12-hour cycle as my real life time is. So it seems that waiting for the time to change didn't really do anything much. So let's press N and see what that does. Okay, here we are, guys, back in our room. Now this time we're going to try doing everything the narrator tells us and see where that gets us. Okay, so this is interesting. This definitely wasn't here before, but I said I'm going to do what the narrator tells us, so let's continue on. Okay, here we go this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
All right, let's give it a go. Okay, this seems a bit ominous, but we've come this far. Let's keep going. Do I go to the mind control facility or to escape? Now, this is incredibly tempting, but for that reason alone, I think it's probably not the way to go. And we did say we'd follow the narrator this time, so here we go. Okay, I guess we just push this button here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
And now I suppose we press this one.
Now the monitors jump to life.
And push some more buttons. All right, so I think he wants us to power off from what he said, so I guess that's going to be done through here. Okay, guys, this is a decision. Well, we said we were going to follow the narrator. He wants us to power everything off, so let's try it and see what happens.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Okay, this is kind of cool. Let's see what happens when we go through here.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
All right, we are back in our office. I don't think we quite completed the game as such, but it was an interesting experience nonetheless. I have to say this game feels incredibly immersive. I am actually really enjoying playing this one. All right, guys, I think we have to check out the new content now, right? Let's do that. Okay, so first thing we come to is this, the jump circle. So I guess we go stand in here and press space to jump. Now, obviously, as I'm jumping, my jumps are going down, and I can't help but wonder if I'm going to need those later. Call it my skeptical break the game mind, but I am not going to jump until that hits 0. We're going to keep 30 jumps and just keep walking through.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
So we're back in our office, but there's one big difference. This. So this is definitely different.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
Okay, so we can go into this vent or we can go up here. Okay, now I've got up here. It looks like that's going to take us back through to the experience we had before. So actually, I think it's time for a new experience. Let's try the vent. Well, this looks pretty cool.
I call it the memory zone.
Remember when you used to get PC games like this? You have to put the CD into your disk drive. Ah, those were the days.
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for. And the end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
So, having skipped many, many times, we broke the skip button. And now we can actually exit the room through here, so I guess that's what we're going to do. I guess you could say the narrator deserted us. Or maybe we just skipped through the sands of time. Either way, it's honestly been a bit of a rocky adventure. So, if you're still watching after all those terrible dad jokes, who am I kidding? No one's still watching. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back in our office. And I have but one question on my mind. And that question is, what is this? Actually, no, that wasn't the question. I had a different question on my mind, but now I've seen this and it's very tempting. I mean, it is a neon sign after all. However, my question was, what happens if we power on instead of power off this time? So I have to wonder if I turn the power on, like what will happen then? Maybe I'll be able to control people's brains. I hope they don't mind. All right, let's give this a go.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
I wonder if I can power this off before I die.
Inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
No, I died. Well, I died and I'm back in my office, but guys, that was super fun. I actually really enjoyed that. Okay, interesting, the dialogue changed here. I'm going to keep ignoring this new content for now because I really want to try and figure out that room. Okay, so after trying many different things, I did some Googling about the mind control facility. I've been given some calming new age music because I entered the code before the narrator, in inverted quotes, told me about this. And so this is my punishment, this music. It seems that there isn't actually a way to solve the puzzle in the mind control facility at the end. And in fact, the ending is exactly as it's meant to be. It is a bomb ending and one of the alternate endings in this game. Now, if you know any differently, do let me know down in the comments, but that was the information I could find at the time of recording. However, there's still a few things that we have to try out together, guys, and of course, this escape route has to be one of them. Well, this is ominous and scary. This would be terrifying.
Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Well, this is interesting. A new narrator.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Well, this is an interesting place. I gotta say, guys, this game is just immensely entertaining. It seriously really captivated me and got my attention. And this video is in no way sponsored by Stanley Parable, but I highly recommend you check this game out. I'll put a link to the Steam page down in the description if you want to do so. But it's incredibly immersive, and I find myself really getting into the story, trying to think of what's going through Stanley's head, what's going through the narrator's head, all that sort of stuff. It's actually been a really fun journey. Let's flick the switch and see what happens. Right, well, we're back in our office. The very familiar office that we keep ending up back at, of course. But there's still one more thing I want to check out and show you guys as part of this video. Ooh, okay, this is super interesting. I have to say, the narrator has really grown on me and become almost like a friend in this game. Suddenly, instead of me versus him, I feel like we're in this together, and I guess the game is positioning you to do that. But the psychological journey of this game has been really enthralling, guys. Honestly, one of the most captivating games I think I've ever played. So let's continue through, though, and see what there is waiting for us here. Well, this is very cool, the Stanley Parable 2 facility, and it invites us to try out some new features. So it looks like there's merch over there, something about a bucket here, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game, and some more stuff this way. Well, let's try the button first, shall we? Here we have the Goldilocks evolution of buttons in this game, and now the button we've been waiting for. There's no way this is going to work, right?
I'm taking the gym button away.
No! Give me my gym button! No! Ah, we got a final one in. That was good. Okay, now I'm faced with the reassurance bucket, and I don't know. We have to go check this out, right? It sounds like buckets are fun. Here comes my bucket. Oh, here we go. So I just pick it up. Okay, I have my bucket now. My beloved bucket and me, we go everywhere together. I think we have to check out the infinite hole next. Sounds like a whole lot of fun. Okay, bucket, we're going into the hole. So, of course, I need to find out what happens if I don't push this button.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
Now, do I press G to return to the surface, or do I just wait here? Here I am, alone in my hole, with a bucket in my hand. Okay, I was waiting here quite a while. I got a little bit bored. I apologize for singing. Collectibles. Let's get our collectibles. Okay, looks like we can collect ourselves a Stanley. Oh, yeah.
Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Alright guys, check this out. We've now unlocked this whole new screen here for the Stanley Parable 2. So let's go ahead, jump right in and see what this is all about. Okay, so we start back in our same office. Let's run out and see if there's anything new. Hey, look at this. There's a bucket here now. This was never here before, so I assume we're supposed to pick this up.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Haha. Okay, I had a really good look around this room and read literally everything in here, and I saw this. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Now, I noticed something earlier when I was playing this game. Yeah, the broom closet. So, can we open this door? Ah, we can. Most of these doors are shut, that's why I got excited. Okay, what's in here? Okay, narrator wants me to go outside, and now I'm really curious what happens if I just stay in here with my bucket and its two pretty stickers. Okay, I waited here for a while and nothing seems to be happening, so I guess we're gonna leave the broom closet. I just realized I've never actually been downstairs yet. Let's try that out. Oh my goodness, the red depths of hell. Well, this is a perfectly normal light to have at the bottom of a staircase in an office for employees. Just red and glowing and looking a bit ominous. Oh, hey, look at this. There's a collectible.
You found one of them.
Boom.
One of the mini...
I really want to collect them all now. If you want to see me attempt to do that and just play more of this game, check out my Twitch where I'll be streaming this as well as a load of other games. Link for that is down in the description. But for now, let's carry on through here.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience? He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Okay, interesting. Like a new ending there, I suppose. We are now back in the office, so yeah. So this video is now starting to come to an end, but of course...
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
So this game has actually been really, really fun to play, guys. And the purpose of today's video was just have a bit of fun and look at some different aspects of the game. But honestly, I've not even covered a fraction of this game from the research I've seen online. So I do highly recommend that you go and check it out. It's been a really different type of game to play and really, like, genuinely very fun. But for now, I just want to say I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and me and the bucket will see you next time.